We think we know Norway, towering fjords, snow-capped peaks, and the haunting glow of the northern lights. But what if we told you there's another side to this Nordic land that hides far from view, so hidden, in fact, that even local Norwegians rarely speak of it? From deep, untouched canyons where no road leads, to cliffs that vanish into mist with no known name, to forests where the trees grow in strange spiral patterns. These are not tourist destinations, but forgotten wonders sculpted by time, ice, and myth. In this journey, we'll explore the landscapes science has barely mapped, where geology, weather, and ancient folklore collide. Why have these places remained hidden for so long? And what secrets do they hold about the Earth's past and its future? Prepare to see a Norway you've never imagined. TROLLTUNGA. Perched nearly 3,600 feet above sea level, TROLLTUNGA, Norway's jaw-dropping troll's tongue, juts out like a stone diving board frozen in time. Formed roughly 10,000 years ago during the last ice age, this dramatic cliff was carved by relentless glacial forces. But what makes TROLLTUNGA truly astonishing isn't just its dizzying height or impossible angle, it's the sheer geological patience behind it. As ancient glaciers ground across the fjord, they slowly sculpted this tongue of rock, grain by grain, over millennia. Today, it dangles weightlessly above Lake Ringerdalsvatnet, a surreal slab that defies gravity and reason. One step onto its narrow edge, and you're standing where time, ice, and tectonic fire met in quiet triumph. A one-in-a-billion natural sculpture even locals can't quite believe is real. KJERAGBOLTEN. Suspended between sky and stone, KJERAGBOLTEN is one of nature's most surreal balancing acts. This massive glacial boulder, wedged perfectly in a mountain crevice nearly 3,300 feet above, the Lysefjord is not held by magic, but by precise geologic chance. During the last ice age, retreating glaciers carried this 5 cubic meter rock and dropped it between 2 cliffs, where it's been stuck ever since. What's more unbelievable? There's no support beneath it, just open air. Scientists believe friction and the shape of the rock prevent it from falling. Today, it lures thrill seekers who dare to step out onto its narrow surface. It's a moment where gravity, time, and glacial force converge, a frozen second in Earth's chaotic dance, hidden in the wild heart of Norway. PREIKESTOLEN. Rising like a giant stone pulpit above the fjord's still waters, PREIKESTOLEN, known as Pulpit Rock, is one of Norway's most staggering geological wonders. This flat-topped cliff stands nearly 2,000 feet above Lysefjord, carved not by human hands, but by the sheer power of glacial erosion during the last ice age. Over 10,000 years ago, massive glaciers retreated, splitting the rock and leaving behind this perfectly squared-off ledge. Its near-perfect geometry has puzzled geologists and fascinated visitors alike. What's more astonishing is the rock's stability. Despite deep cracks along its sides, it's remained steadfast for millennia. Today, it's a silent sentinel over Norway's raw, untouched wilderness, inviting those who dare to walk its edge into a breathtaking moment suspended between sky, stone, and time. LOFOTEN Islands. Far above the Arctic Circle, the LOFOTEN Islands cradle some of Norway's most enchanting fishing villages, where crimson wooden rawbuer cling to rocky shores beneath towering granite peaks. These islands, carved by Ice Age glaciers from billion-year-old rock, form a dramatic necklace across the Norwegian Sea. Geography here is a paradox, Arctic in latitude, yet softened by the Gulf Stream, creating fertile waters that have drawn seasonal cod migrations for over 1,000 years. Villages like Reyne and Henningsvær grew from this bounty, their histories woven from maritime trade, Viking heritage, and centuries of resilient coastal life. Against a backdrop of turquoise bays and sheer cliffs, these communities preserve a timeless beauty where every winding pier and weathered boathouse tells the story of survival and harmony between people and one of the most striking landscapes on Earth. Saltstraumen. Near the Arctic city of Bodo lies Saltstraumen, the most powerful tidal current on the planet. Every 6 hours, more than 20 billion gallons of seawater are forced through a strait just 150 meters wide, generating whirlpools up to 30 feet in diameter. This roaring exchange between the Saltenfjord and Skjerstadfjord has been shaping the coastline for nearly 3,000 years. The churning waters enrich the marine ecosystem, drawing Arctic cod, halibut, and seabirds in abundance, just as they sustained Stone Age hunters whose ancient rock carvings still mark the nearby cliffs. Geologically, Saltstraumen is a living laboratory of fluid dynamics, where the immense gravitational pull of the Moon and Earth's rotation combine in a timeless dance. Visually, it's a place where emerald fjord waters twist into hypnotic spirals against a backdrop of rugged mountains, capturing both the raw power and the enduring beauty of Norway's untamed north. GEIRANGERFJORD. Tucked deep in western Norway's Sunnmøre region, GEIRANGERFJORD is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Earth's most breathtaking natural laboratories. This serpentine fjord stretches about 9 miles, carved by glaciers during the last ice age, with walls that rise over 4,000 feet straight from the water. Its sheer cliffs channel countless waterfalls, including the Seven Sisters and the Suter, whose flows are shaped by seasonal snowmelt. Beneath its sapphire surface, layers of cold, oxygen-rich water sustain unique marine life, while scientists monitor the stability of the mountainsides, some of which could trigger massive waves if they collapse. Villages like Geranger cling to narrow ledges, their history woven with tales of isolation, resilience, and the constant dialogue between human life and raw nature. Here, geology, climate, and culture converge in a scene as dramatic as it is timeless. Jotunheimen National Park. Jotunheimen National Park, known as the home of the giants, is Norway's crown of peaks, where more than 200 rise above 6,000 feet. Sculpted by ancient glaciers, its valleys cradle emerald lakes fed by melting ice. This alpine wilderness is a living laboratory for studying geology, glaciology, and rare Arctic flora. Here, scientists trace the retreat of glaciers to understand climate change, while hikers follow ancient trails once used by Vikings. Rugged, untamed, and timeless, Jotunheimen is nature's cathedral in stone and snow. Lingen Alps. The Lingen Alps, stretching for nearly 50 miles in Norway's Arctic north, are a jagged masterpiece of geology, where sharp granite peaks rise above deep fjords. Formed over millions of years by tectonic uplift and relentless glacial carving, this range is a hotspot for studying climate shifts through its ancient ice fields. Scientists drilled deep into its frozen layers, uncovering climate records dating back tens of thousands of years. Remote, dramatic, and scientifically priceless, the Lincoln Alps are nature's frozen archive. Hardangerfjord. Hardangerfjord, stretching more than 110 miles through western Norway, is both a geological masterpiece and a living record of the Ice Age. Carved by colossal glaciers over 10,000 years ago, its sheer cliffs plunge into waters so deep they hide unique marine ecosystems still being studied today. Scientists use its layered seabed to trace climate shifts and sea level changes since prehistoric times. Along its shores, a rare microclimate nurtures apple and cherry orchards, a striking contrast to the fjord's raw glacial drama, where science, history, and beauty meet in perfect harmony. Jostedalsbreen. Jostedalsbreen, the largest glacier in mainland Europe, sprawls over 185 square miles in western Norway. Formed during the last ice age, it is a living laboratory for climate science, its ice layers preserving atmospheric records dating back thousands of years. Researchers drilled deep cores to study ancient air trapped within, unlocking clues about Earth's changing climate. From its shimmering blue crevasses, meltwater feeds valleys below, shaping landscapes and sustaining ecosystems, a reminder of nature's immense power and delicate balance. Vøringsfossen. Vøringsfossen, one of Norway's most iconic waterfalls, plunges nearly 600 feet from the Hardangervidda Plateau into the Mobodalen Valley below. Scientists have studied how its powerful flow has carved the valley over thousands of years, revealing layers of ancient rock that tell the geological story of Western Norway. Fed by snowmelt and glacial streams, its water surges strongest in late spring, creating a roar that can be heard from far away. Modern viewing platforms now allow visitors to safely experience its force, bridging awe-inspiring natural beauty with human engineering. Nordkapp. Nordkapp, or the North Cape, stands like a sentinel at the edge of the European continent, a sheer cliff rising over 1,000 feet above the Arctic Ocean. Scientists regard it as a natural observatory for studying polar light phenomena. Here, the midnight sun glows for over 2 months each summer, while in winter, the polar night invites dazzling auroras. Geological surveys reveal that the plateau is composed of ancient rock, more than 500 million years old, shaped by ice ages and relentless Arctic winds. For centuries, it has been a navigational landmark, guiding explorers toward the northernmost horizons. Ålesund. Ålesund, a coastal gem on Norway's western shore, is a living laboratory of nature and design. Perched across several islands, it offers scientists rare opportunities to study Atlantic marine ecosystems shaped by the Gulf Stream's warm currents. Its dramatic Art Nouveau architecture, rebuilt after a massive fire in 1904, is a case study in urban resilience. From its surrounding fjords, researchers observe tidal patterns that influence both local climate and wildlife migration. Beneath the waves, kelp forests thrive, acting as carbon sinks and shelters for countless marine species. Röros. Röros, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in central Norway, is a frozen page from the 17th century, offering scientists and historians a rare glimpse into early industrial life above the Arctic Circle. Founded as a copper mining town in 1644, its wooden houses, built to withstand brutal sub-zero winters, remain largely unchanged. Archaeologists study its preserved smelters to understand pre-modern metallurgy, while climate researchers analyze how centuries of human activity shaped the surrounding tundra ecosystem. In winter, the town becomes a natural cold chamber, perfect for studying frost patterns and snow preservation in high-altitude sub-Arctic climates. Svalbard. Svalbard, a remote Arctic archipelago halfway between mainland Norway and the North Pole, is a living laboratory for science at the edge of the world. Here, researchers study everything from polar bear behavior to the effects of climate change on permafrost that's been frozen for over 20,000 years. Beneath the icy surface lies the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, safeguarding over 1 million seed samples from nearly every nation, humanity's insurance policy against ecological disaster. Astronomers take advantage of Svalbard's clear, dry air to observe cosmic phenomena, while glaciologists monitor ancient ice cores that reveal atmospheric secrets stretching back hundreds of millennia. Even its coal mines, once central to survival, now serve as sealed chambers for cutting-edge experiments shielded from cosmic radiation. In Svalbard, science isn't just about discovery. It's about preserving the past and preparing for the planet's uncertain future. Atlantic Ocean Road. The Atlantic Ocean Road, or Atlanterhavsveien, is more than a stretch of asphalt. It is a feat of engineering that dances with nature's raw power. Stretching just over 5 miles along Norway's western coast, it links a chain of tiny islands with a series of 8 dramatic bridges, each shaped to withstand the fury of the Norwegian Sea. Built in the 1980s, it was originally intended as a railway, but fierce storms and shifting plans turned it into one of the world's most scenic drives. Engineers faced winds that could reach hurricane strength and waves that crashed over the road during construction, forcing them to design foundations anchored deep into the seabed. Today, marine biologists study the surrounding waters teeming with cod, seals, and even passing whales, while geologists marvel at the ancient rock formations that cradle the causeway. The Atlantic Ocean Road isn't just a link between points on a map. It's a living testament to human resilience in harmony with a restless ocean. Norway. Norway, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of the narrowest fjords on Earth, at points barely over 1,000 feet wide, yet plunges to depths of more than 1,300 feet. Carved by glaciers over 10,000 years ago, its sheer cliffs rise straight from the water, crowned with waterfalls that drop hundreds of feet in silver ribbons. Geologists study its U-shaped valley walls, textbook evidence of Ice Age erosion, while ecologists find rare plant species clinging to the rocky ledges. Small traditional villages, some accessible only by boat, preserve centuries-old ways of life in this dramatic, almost untouched landscape. Senja. Senja, Norway's second-largest island, is often called Norway in miniature for its astonishing variety of landscapes. Within just a few miles, you can pass from jagged alpine peaks that plunge straight into the ocean to tranquil fishing villages that have existed for more than 1,000 years. Its coastline is carved by deep fjords, formed by glaciers during the last ice age, leaving behind sheer cliffs and narrow inlets teeming with marine life. Geologists are drawn to Senja's billion-year-old rock formations, some among the oldest in Scandinavia, while wildlife researchers study its thriving populations of sea eagles, puffins, and coastal otters. In summer, endless daylight reveals the island's untouched wilderness, while in winter, its dramatic terrain becomes a stage for nature's most extreme and beautiful contrasts. Sognefjord. Sognefjord, known as the King of the Fjords, is Norway's longest and deepest fjord, stretching more than 120 miles from the coast into the heart of the country and plunging over 4,000 feet below sea level. Formed by colossal glaciers during the last ice age, its sheer rock walls, some over 1 billion years old, rise like towering fortresses above glassy emerald waters. The fjord's unique geography creates varied microclimates, nurturing orchards, and rare plant species far inland. Scattered along its shores are ancient stave churches and fishing villages that once served as Viking trade outposts. Scientists explore its depths to uncover marine ecosystems thriving in frigid, low-light conditions, while geologists read the rock layers like pages in Earth's history, revealing the immense forces that shape Scandinavia. Today, Sognefjord is not just a natural wonder. It's a living chronicle of ice, time, and human resilience. Aurlandsfjord, a slender branch of Norway's mighty Sognefjord, stretches nearly 18 miles through a landscape carved by glaciers over 10,000 years ago. Its waters plunge more than 2,000 feet deep, while sheer cliffs, some rising over 3,000 feet, frame a scene so dramatic it feels almost unreal. The fjord's unique topography creates sheltered pockets where rare flora thrive, including species usually found hundreds of miles south. Along its shores lies the village of Flom, once a quiet farming settlement, now a gateway for scientists and travelers studying the interplay of geology, climate, and culture. Layers of exposed rock tell a billion-year-old story of tectonic shifts and ice ages, while underwater surveys reveal cold-water coral reefs hidden in the depths. Aurlandsfjord is more than a visual masterpiece. It is a living archive of Earth's natural history and human adaptation in one of Norway's most breathtaking corridors. Folgefonna Glacier, draped across Norway's Hardanger region, is the country's third largest ice mass, spanning over 80 square miles. Formed during the last ice age, more than 10,000 years ago, it continues to sculpt the landscape through slow but relentless movement. Beneath its shimmering blue-white surface, meltwater carves hidden tunnels and rivers, feeding nearby fjords with mineral-rich streams that nourish unique ecosystems. Scientists study its annual melt rates to track climate change, noting that some ice layers preserve air bubbles from centuries past, tiny time capsules of Earth's ancient atmosphere. At its edges, sheer walls of ice meet emerald valleys dotted with farms where fruit orchards flourish in the mild microclimate created by the fjord's waters. Folgefonna is both a breathtaking natural wonder and a vital living laboratory, revealing the fragile balance between Norway's timeless glaciers and our planet's changing climate. Hidden deep within the rugged hills of Rogaland County, Manafossen Waterfall is a raw display of Norway's untamed power. Dropping nearly 300 feet in a single thunderous plunge, it is one of the tallest free-falling waterfalls in the country. Fed by the River Man, its flow swells dramatically during spring snowmelt, releasing torrents that crash into the rocky gorge below, creating a constant mist that nourishes lush green mosses clinging to the cliff walls. Unlike many famous Norwegian cascades, Manafossen has no paved road to its base. Reaching it requires a steep, rocky hike that rewards visitors with an unobstructed, close encounter with nature's force. Geological studies reveal that the surrounding canyon was carved over thousands of years by glacial meltwater, leaving exposed rock layers that tell the story of Norway's ancient past. Isolated and unspoiled, Manafossen is more than a site. It is a living testament to the raw forces that have shaped the Scandinavian landscape. Bergen, Norway's second-largest city, rests between 7 mountains and faces a maze of fjords, earning its nickname, the Gateway to the Fjords. Founded over 9 centuries ago, it was once a major Hanseatic trading hub, where merchants dealt in dried cod and goods from across Europe. The city's colorful wooden Bryggen Wharf buildings, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, stand on foundations first laid in the 12th century, their warped timbers telling stories of centuries of storms and fires. Geographically, Bergen's position along the Gulf Stream gives it a surprisingly mild climate for its latitude, though it is one of Europe's rainiest cities, with over 230 wet days each year. Scientists studying the region's topography point to the deep glacial valleys that cradle the city, remnants of the last ice age. Today, Bergen blends maritime heritage with vibrant cultural life, serving as both a living museum and a starting point for exploring Norway's dramatic natural wonders. Tromsø, often called the gateway to the Arctic, lies more than 200 miles north of the Arctic Circle, yet enjoys winters milder than expected thanks to the Gulf Stream. Founded in the late 18th century, it became a launching point for daring polar expeditions, earning a place in exploration history. Geographically, Tromsø sits on an island ringed by snow-clad peaks, connected to the mainland by a sweeping bridge. Its location makes it a prime spot for studying the aurora borealis, as scientists here monitor solar wind activity and magnetic fields. In summer, the midnight sun bathes the city in continuous daylight, offering researchers a rare natural laboratory for studying circadian rhythms in humans and wildlife. Blending Arctic science, history, and dramatic beauty, Tromsø remains one of Norway's most captivating northern frontiers. Rena, a fishing village in Norway's Lofoten archipelago, sits just above the Arctic Circle, framed by jagged granite peaks rising straight from the sea. Settled for more than 1,000 years, it thrived on cod fishing, with traditional red råbur cabins still dotting the shoreline. Its location makes it a living laboratory for marine biology. Scientists study nutrient-rich waters here, where the Gulf Stream collides with Arctic currents, sustaining vast fish populations and seabird colonies. Geologically, the surrounding mountains are among the oldest rock formations on Earth, carved by Ice Age glaciers into dramatic spires. In winter, the village becomes a silent stage for the aurora borealis, while in summer, the midnight sun illuminates its calm waters around the clock. Rena is where raw Arctic beauty meets centuries of survival and exploration. Lake LOFOTEN, cradled in Norway's Nordfjord region, is a glacial-fed jewel with waters so vividly turquoise they seem almost unreal. Its striking color comes from finely ground rock flour, created as ancient glaciers grind against mountain stone, then carried into the lake by meltwater streams. Surrounding peaks tower more than 1 mile high, their slopes cloaked in dense forest and seasonal waterfalls. Yet LOFOTEN's beauty hides a dramatic past. 2 massive rock slides in 1905 and 1936 plunged into the lake, generating tsunamis that swept away villages and claimed over 130 lives. These tragedies reshaped both the shoreline and local history, making LOFOTEN a key site for geologists studying landslide-generated waves. Today, the lake is a serene mirror to the sky, but its depths hold both the memory of cataclysm and the slow, patient artistry of ice, rock, and time.